Hi everyone, welcome back to Simple Things. Today we're going to be looking at who are the men from the East in the Bible. Before we get into the video, I'm going to ask you to like, comment, share, and please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the word written in red, subscribe, below this video. You can also click the bell icon so you can get notifications as soon as I upload a new video. Thanks. In the Bible, in the book of Genesis, God promised Abraham that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed. Almost every time we hear a sermon or read an article on this promise, it focuses on the lineage of Isaac. But in this video, we are going to learn some amazing facts about the lineage of his older brother Ishmael and find out exactly who are they today, straight from the Bible. In the book of Genesis, we read, "In the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. The Nile River flows from the south to north through eastern Africa. It begins in the rivers that flow into Lake Victoria, located in modern-day Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya, and empties into the Mediterranean Sea more than 4,100 miles to the north. Thus, the Nile is one of the longest rivers in the world. The Euphrates, on the other hand, originates in the Armenian highlands of eastern Turkey. It flows through Syria and Iraq to join the Tigris in the Shat al-Arab, which empties into the Persian Gulf. So if you look at the map on your screen, all that general area I've highlighted should have been included. Please note that many of the nations of that area have different names today, but the names of some remain the same. And for that matter, when you're done watching this, click on the link for one of my other interesting videos, Countries No One Told You Were in the Bible, to get an idea of what I mean by the old versus modern place names. The link is in the description box below this video. If you're not familiar with Abraham's story, do not pause this video. Instead, when you're done watching, grab your Bible and read it for yourselves from Genesis 15 onwards. Run to the library and do your own research, or just use Google. Before God changed their names, this couple was known as Abraham and Sarai. No, they were childless, but God made them the promise referred to earlier. Now, this is an extremely intriguing saga which not even the best of Hollywood could produce. You see why I say it's all right here in the Bible? But that's a whole different study by itself. In a nutshell, Sarai was barren and wanted a child. She told her husband Abraham to take her helper or maid as a wife. Helper got pregnant, matey now began to despise wifey, wifey go complain to huszy, wifey this matey, and matey run away with the big belly. Oh, well, forgive me. The Bible is just way more dramatic and interesting in the Jamaican vernacular. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to shore. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. Now this is the verse that I want you to do some keen research on. And he shall be a wild man, his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. The book of Genesis then goes on to tell us his name Ishmael which means God will hear. He grew up to be an archer. Secular history shows he was born circa 1842 BC. He is also mentioned in the Quran and the Tanakh. So, God made that promise to Ishmael's mother, and he made a covenant with his father as well. Here, God changed Abraham's name to Abraham and Sarai to Sarah. In Genesis 17, upon Abraham's expectation that God's covenant would be established through Ishmael, God promised, "And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation." So now, let's recap what we've learned about Ishmael from the Bible. Firstly, his name means God will hear. He started from the wilderness or abyss or desert of the Middle Eastern region. He grew up to be an archer. The nation that would come from him would be innumerable. He would be a wild man. His hand would be against every man, and every man's hand against him. The Bible tells us that Ishmael was 13 years old when he was circumcised. This was just after God had made the covenant with Abraham, which was to be established through the son promised to Sarah within a year. When Isaac was weaned, a feast was held for the occasion. Ishmael mocked Isaac. Sarah wasn't pleased. Sarah told Abraham to put out Ishmael and Hagar. The same person who did say, "Sleep with Hagar." Once again, the same Abraham listened to his wife. The saga continues in Genesis 21, and I prefer to let the Bible speak for itself. "And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread and a bottle of water, and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder, and the child, and sent her away. And she departed, and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba." This is the Negev desert shown on the map on your screen. "And God heard the voice of the lad, and the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad, where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad to drink. And God was with the lad, and he grew, and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an archer. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt." If you look at your screens, you'll see the Paran desert highlighted on the map. Now after some time, when Sarah had died, Abraham took a new wife, Keturah. Chapter 25 tells us that she bore him 6 sons. He then gave his older concubines gifts and sent them away. Take note, eastward unto the east country. Judges 6 tells us, "And so it was when Israel had sown, that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites, and the children of the east, even they came up against them." It continues, "And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life which he lived, 160 years. Then Abram gave up the ghost, and died in a good old age, an old man, and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Mamre. And how did it fare for Ishmael? And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he gave up the ghost, and died, and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest towards Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren." If you made it this far into the video, you may be wondering, how did the story of these men from the east end? Well, it didn't end there. The Bible chronicles their story from there all the way down to the book of Revelation. To list some instances, They're referred to as grasshoppers in the book of Judges 6. And they came as grasshoppers for multitude, for both they and their camels were without number, and they entered into the land to destroy it. As the east wind in several books of the Bible, as locusts, as the men from the east at Jesus' birth, as horses, and as scorpions. And one day, God willing, hopefully, I'll do a part 2 on how they appear in prophecy in Revelation 9. So there you have it, friends. I'm sure you've learned something new from the Bible today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and please subscribe to my channel. Also, hit that notification bell so you can get notifications each time I upload a new video. Thanks for joining.